Donald Trump, the big war that we are seeing taking place between the administration and Harvard. It is Donald Trump who now wants Harvard to cut foreign student intake to 15%. That's the news that's coming in at the moment. Donald Trump says Harvard should maybe have a 15% cap on foreign students. A statement coming in from the US President Donald Trump, who's saying Harvard University should have a 15% cap on the number of foreign students it admits, and the Ivy League school needs to show the administration the current list of students coming in from different parts of the world. Harvard has got to behave themselves. They're treating our country with great disrespect, and all that they are doing is getting in deeper and deeper. My colleague Pranay Upadhyay joining me on the story. Pranay, this is a big war that we are seeing taking place. The administration, the Donald Trump administration on one side, Harvard on the other side, both the institutions not backing down. A new statement coming in from Donald Trump and saying that they have been disrespecting United States of America. Harvard is treating the country with disrespect.
You're absolutely right, Aishwarya. President Donald Trump is quite critical about Harvard, and his administration is cracking down on Harvard University, which is the premium Ivy League institution. But you see that he has already yielded a concession to Harvard University, because right from the sweeping ban on Harvard University on accepting the international students, now he has given a concession that acceptance can go up to 15%. But he has insisted upon that Harvard should give the list of the international students, from where did they come from, what are the background of these students, and what are they doing. So this is definitely, never happened in the history of the United States, that any administration has asked the Harvard University, or any university for that matter, to give out the details of list of international students. So definitely the matter has already gone to court, Aishwarya, and we are yet to see that what courts ruled out, because there is another front which Trump administration has opened, because a lot of things and a lot of decisions of the Trump administration has gone to court, right from tariffs to visas to deportations to Harvard University issue. And many universities, along with Harvard University, a consortium of universities, have approached the United States courts on these decisions. So we are yet to see that how things progress, but definitely we could see that there is a concession which is yielded by President Donald Trump from sweeping ban. So, 31% acceptance. He mentioned in his previous statement that over 30% of students at Harvard University is of foreign origin and international students, to 15%. So he has cut down to 15% to 50%.
Right.
So we are yet to see how the matter progresses in court.
Thank you, Pranay, giving us those details. My colleague Pranay giving us details, and also saying we will now have to wait and watch what exactly Harvard will do. Daniel Bloch, senior journalist, still with me on the story. Daniel, this is the other big war that we are seeing. And we are also seeing that Harvard, a lot of people believe, Daniel, that this is just the beginning. We could see other Ivy League colleges also at loggerheads with the Trump administration.
We certainly could, and in fact, we already are. But first, I want to say I believe that, just so viewers are aware, and double check me on this, the figure is not over 30% at Harvard. I believe it's in the 20%. That is the figure, the number of international students at Harvard. So I think I just want to be sure that everybody's taking facts that Trump says with a grain of salt, because I believe that one's not true. But again, double check me on that. Anyway, to return to your question, we've already seen Trump launch an attack on Columbia University, for example, going after a lot of their money and their resources and trying to extort the school in that sense. And I think he's going to widen the front. He's put out lists of dozens of schools, colleges, and universities throughout the country, not just Ivy League, but other elite institutions, and some institutions that don't even necessarily have the name brand prestige of the top colleges in the country. And he said that he's investigating all of them for a variety of reasons. And it seems like his intention is to do what he's doing to Harvard in order to, kind of choke off their finances, go after the flow of international students that they have, go after their grants, go after their endowments. Republicans are talking about implementing an endowment tax on colleges and universities. And this is all a coordinated campaign that's designed to bring these colleges in line with Trump's priorities.
Right, Daniel, please stay on with me. We've got some more news coming in, this time with regards to the tariffs that Donald Trump has been levying across the globe. It's a US court, United States court, that has blocked Donald Trump's tariff, and in a statement said that Donald Trump, as a president, exceeded his authority. US Trade Court blocked President Donald Trump's tariffs from going into effect, ruling that the president has overstepped his authority by imposing cross-border duties on imports on nations that sell more to United States of America than they buy. Now, this court, the Court of International Trade, has said the US Constitution gives Congress exclusive authority to regulate commerce with other countries, but it is not overridden by President's emergency powers to safeguard the US economy. Now, this is something that the entire world was very keenly looking at. Daniel, we did see one after the other. See, expect the unexpected. That is what a lot of people were looking at when Donald Trump became the president of the United States of America. They knew that there would be massive changes coming in. The tariffs, that's something that the world was very keenly looking at. And we also saw how the markets actually for a couple of days were shattered. With the kind of statements coming in, the US court has now blocked those tariffs that Donald Trump was imposing.
It has. And, Donald Trump has suffered plenty of legal setbacks over the course of his first and now especially second term in office. And he's floated the idea repeatedly of disregarding court orders. There's some evidence that perhaps he actually has when it comes to particular immigration cases. This, in some ways, may be his biggest defeat yet. The tariffs have been thus far perhaps the policy that, if he's not the most proud of, the one that has gotten the most global attention, the one that has had the biggest effect on both the United States and the global economy. We know Trump loves tariffs. He said that tariff is his favorite word in the English dictionary. And so he was very proud of this. And he was, I think, particularly attracted to tariffs because it was something that he could do unilaterally, or so he thought. But as the court noted, he's relied on emergency authority to issue all of these tariffs. He said that it's necessary to stop an invasion of fentanyl coming into the United States' borders. That it's also, he's categorized the US trade deficit as an emergency that he needs to correct. And what this appeals court has said uniformly, it was a uniform, unanimous decision. And one of the judges who ruled against the Trump administration was actually appointed by Trump himself. They've said that actually, no, the White House has gone beyond what it's allowed to do. And so I think this is significant, one, just because of the magnitude of the setback for the Trump administration, and two, because this is really going to give Americans and the world a sense of whether the president is going to respect the system of checks and balances that the United States Constitution has set up. Courts have the authority to do this. They have the authority to tell the US president that they can't pursue a policy. And, this is a pretty big deal for Trump. Is he going to listen to the court? Or is this going to prompt an even bigger constitutional crisis than the one the United States is already in?